Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general advice or mentorship, you've come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiters. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now, today I want to talk about the importance of confidentiality. And we know this, but do your clients know this? That is the crux of today's episode. As recruiters, we live and die by confidentiality. You're not going to pick up a candidate, interview them, and go and talk to their boss and say, hey, I'm speaking to one of your subordinates. I'm going to take them to market. You just wouldn't do it. You would think I'm mad, right? But how often, and it doesn't happen a lot, thankfully, but like I hear it more often than maybe we act on, in that when a client says, oh, this CV looks great, I know the place that they work at, I might have a bit of a, just some casual questions, oh, I know their boss, he's cool, I might have a chat with him. Such and such in our team used to work with them, I'll ask about that. When you hear that sort of talk from your client when you present a CV, you need to think alarm bell, alarm bell, alarm bell, because this is not okay. Because I think that in a world where LinkedIn feels like a really open slather kind of database, or like you can see everyone's business, you can see where they're moving, who's open to opportunity, all that sort of stuff. Maybe the lines are getting a little bit blurred as to what's confidential and what's not. But I think at this point, if you hear your client at any point sort of intimate that, and I had this, what prompted this episode was this happening to me last week. I had a couple of clients saying, oh, I've got a do, I'll casually inquire about this individual. I'm like, hang on, what do you mean you casually inquire? What on earth, what context would you be bringing up this person to this group of people? It makes no sense. Oh, well, I used to work with them. Yeah. Yes, but what about this candidate? You can't breach their confidentiality. The moment it gets back to their boss, you've jeopardized this person. You could actually be in breach of breaching their confidentiality, right? And it's important to me as a recruiter that if I'm representing CVs too, it's not going to get back to their boss. It is super important you catch your clients out with this. And most of the time they're going to go, yeah, okay, I get it, I'm with you, all good. Time to time you get those people who just don't get it, right? They just go, well, I don't see the point. I need to know if they're going to be good for my team. They've kind of self-serve them, in the moment, and they kind of think, well, what about me? I need to make sure that this person's not a dud. Totally get that, but that's what the process is there for, right? Like, we're just not at reference stage. I vetted them. They have said the right things. Their experience checks out. You need to meet them and come to the same conclusion. If that is the case, and the candidate's saying, I'm keen, let them present a reference, and at reference stage, it becomes more plausible that you can say to them, look, I know such and such, do you mind if I speak to them? But it is in the control of the candidate, and it always has to be, because the moment that their confidentiality is breached and their boss or an employee or a colleague knows that they're potentially looking to move, you jeopardize their role. You really jeopardize their livelihood, their income, their stability, their sanity, and it's just not okay. So the way that you can, I've kind of just given you an idea of how you might be able to handle that with a client, but let's just say they go, well, like, I need to find out, blah, blah, blah. This is where I go, look, think of it this way. Imagine if you came to me and you said, Brett, look, I know we've been working together for a while, but I am starting to think maybe it's time for me to look for other options. Have you got anything you might be able to look at for me? Would you expect me at that point to go to your boss and say, hey, what's going on? You guys are about to leave. You would jump out of your skin if I did that, right? So it's no different. And hopefully by bringing it back to them and saying you would expect a level of confidentiality from me as your representative recruiter to the market, you would expect that the people we're putting in front of have, high levels of confidence. You just would expect that would happen for you. So it's no different for people that are coming in to your desk that you're reviewing. They should have at that point a light bulb moment, and they will, and it should be okay. But I think people and I think it's innocent. I do think it's innocent. It's stupid that clients can think that they can go and do this, but I also think it's innocent. They just think, oh, I know such and such. Like their brain's just going like this because they get excited and go, I like that CV. Let me just make sure that everyone around me likes that CV too. But it's just something you need to really nip in the bud, let them know that, look, that's not appropriate at this point. We'll get to reference stage. Just sit tight sort of thing. That's it. Imagine now, though, you know, that's all great. We've handled it. Cool. But what if you're dealing with a client that's at the CEO level and he goes, well, you know, if I decide to leave, like I'm the CEO, it doesn't really make sense. Like sometimes you get arrogant pricks who just don't see it. Bring it back to their daughter. Bring it back to their son. Imagine now I'm helping your son or your daughter find employment and they're gainfully employed. You know, they take their career serious and we go and find them other options and it gets back to their boss that they're looking and their boss goes, nah, you're out. You're out in your ass because, you know, whatever. If you're looking, go. And they've been jeopardized. You'd be pretty pissy with me in that process, right? Again, this is no different from you receiving a CV and you doing the same. So there are ways to do it. The key message here is that when you get a hunch, you hear that little thing that raises a little red flag that they might be sniffing around this person before it's appropriate to do references, just have that conversation. It is really, really important, guys, okay? Candidates need to feel safe working with you. They need to feel safe exploring the market without, you know, it getting back to their boss or their company and putting themselves in a jeopardized position because they might not leave. They might just need to have a quick look around and see, you know, we see it all the time, having a little sniff, I'm going to stay here. They don't want to come back to base. Their bosses knowing that they've looked. They never really intended to go, but now it's awkward for them. Like, our job is not to do that. We, as a profession, need to make sure that confidentiality is front of mind. So I hope this helps someone today. If someone's having trouble with their clients, you know, think about some of these tools and these tactics and just have that really direct conversation. It will actually make you look like a better recruiter having that level of I guess, like a really robust, sensible one-to-one chat. And I think you'll only look like a better recruiter to them, and they're probably more likely to refer you as a recruiter too. People like to know that when they talk to you, just like when they talk to their doctor, or they talk to their therapist, or they talk to their mum, that they're not going to go and goss and spread the word about what you've been talking about. And I think recruitment really is, really, really one of the most valuable skills we have is keeping our freaking mouth shut. And making sure that when we transact and put these CVs out to market, that confidentiality is held. That's it. That's all I have time for you today. If you got something out of this, please like, share, subscribe. If there's someone here that needs to hear this, tag them. Give them a little smiley face. But look, it's helping us grow. We're getting to the back end of this year, so let's just final push. Have an amazing day. As always, may all your deals come true.